It sucks. It's terrible. It's the worst thing you can imagine for a DJ.
It's our game room. Oh,
This is my game room. Yes, this is my streaming setup.
during the pandemic, you became more and more familiar with video games, right?
Well, I've always been familiar with video games, but I never really tried to, to do like any activity with it. Of course, I did some music for video games, but I
Okay.
never like focused on the gaming part of it.
So it's not just an hobby. Do you feel a sort of a connection between your gaming world and electronic music?
I grew up playing video games, and I don't know if there's any connection between the world of electronic music and video games. I know I used to listen to music while playing video games, but it's like personally, it's just another hobby of mine.
What's your favorite one?
Right now, my favorite one is Call of Duty, but it's always been all the Final Fantasy series and almost all the Call of Duty series.
Do you have any team, right?
We started this year. We started a group called Team Wall, which is basically a streaming community where we're trying to use my platform, trying to recycle my platform to give it opportunity to young and upcoming streamers that we feel are talented.
I don't remember. Have you ever premiered some new music during these streams?
No, that's actually a very good idea. It would be very dope to do like an exclusive preview of an album or something through Twitch.
You'd have to think about that because I think it could be nice for the future to think about that.
Yeah, I think so too.
And recently, I saw also Electra is involved too in the video games. Is she better
No,
at
she's not involved. She's my wife, so she's involved with anything I do. Uh,
and is she better as a player or as a wife?
as a wife. Yeah,
What do you love the most about her?
it's my wife.
Everything.
Yes.
What do you love the most about Italy?
My fans and the ability to party with my fans. That's like the most fun part of Italy for me.
Do you have a huge fan base playing on you from Italy on your video game streams?
No, not necessarily, but definitely on the music side. Like I know, like all the places I play in Italy, there's always very passionate fans. I don't know if they're just my fans or music fans in general, but I know they really like to party.
Talking about music, Nick, Martin Garrix at Euro 2020, Marshmello live at the Champions League final, at least but not last, your live DJ set for Eurovision Song Contest last a few months ago. Do you think that EDM has reached his peak?
No, EDM will always be what it is, and people are just having an interest from. I think it's a marketing perspective, of course, for the big companies because we have a gigantic community. But I also think it's very fun. It's music, it's freedom, it's celebration. Who would not want to try and involve their company with that? So I think it makes a lot of sense that they try to use David, Martin, Marshmello, me to make their events more EDM-y. But like for us, like as far as I know from my friends and myself, it's fun, but it's an extra. Like of course Eurovision has 200 million viewers, but these are not 200 million viewers that go to the festival. These are 200 million people that watch TV.
Okay.
So for us, it's not the priority. For us, the priority is festivals, clubs, dance music.
And it's difficult to prepare a new set after a so long hiatus.
The most difficult thing is that I have to be okay with playing some older music because I prepared a new set 2 years ago, right before COVID. And for me, this now is like it's old, but the fans never heard it. So I
Exactly.
still have
Exactly.
to do it.
This is a great point. This is the very great point. What kind of music do you think will be predominate in the main stages in the near future?
I think it's going to be a mix of everything. I think people are now so happy that they finally get to go out. They're not going to be critical about if it's techno or a house or minimal or EDM or big room. I think they just want to party, which is great for me because I happen to love doing everything. I hate doing only techno or only big room. I love giving big room to techno people and I love giving techno to big room people. I like to change it up.
And the first release on Tomorrowland label, Tomorrowland Music, will be yours. What about this production?
Never Sleeps is a joint collaboration. It's collaborational effort to bring freedom to artists and everyone involved behind the scenes. So I like freedom. I like musical creativity, creative freedom. That's what we're trying to do with Never Sleeps. It doesn't matter if it's techno, doesn't matter if it's EDM, doesn't need to get the big Spotify playlist. Like we all love New Music Friday. It's very important to us as artists, but this label is not for that. Even though, of course, it would be dope if we get added to New Music Friday. But the intention of the music, it's for the people on the dance floor. And if it happens to mix, that's fine. But when releasing, when preparing, when in the studio, the only thing we're thinking about is live experience.
In your opinion, it's more easier to produce a pop mainstream anthem or a great techno track?
It's both difficult, but the thing that makes it more difficult, I think, is when you make a pop track, you have to impress so many different cultures, like so many backgrounds, so many age groups. Like when you're making a techno track, you don't have to think about, well, of course, there are 60 years and over techno fans and 10 years and under, but generally, most of the age category is probably between 16 and 45, 50. With pop music, you have to approach everyone from 4 years old, like Baby Shark, up all the way until people that are 80 years old, that have a very different musical recollection than people that are 20 years old. So, well, I prefer to do house, techno, and electro, and pop is more like, it's a fun challenge, you know, as a producer, but it's very difficult. The only one that like has been able to decipher it so far is Max Martin.
And in the DJ booth, it's more funny to mix techno house tracks or main stage sets?
Both. The most fun thing in the world to me is mixing techno and main stage stuff. So I love going to a main stage where people like, oh, Afrojack, because I know, give me everything and take over control. And
just 2 tracks, you know?
yeah, but like they come for that. And I rarely play the original. I usually play some type of mashup where I try to introduce them to a new, little bit more difficult or more underground style of music. I like when it works. I actually did a track which is a mashup of No Beef that I did with Steve Aoki. Actually now 10 years anniversary.
Yes,
and
I saw the old peak on Instagram.
Yeah, so let me Google this real quick, because I did a mashup with an Italian techno artist track under it, T78 and Dino Majorana, hardcore. Yeah, so I think they're Italian artists, and it's really cool because it has such a ridiculous. It's like the most aggressive track I could find at that moment, the most aggressive techno track. I put it under the drop of No Beef and it made it just crazy. And then I play that at the main stage and people really love it. So I see that sort of as like a small introduction to techno to people that are not necessarily used to techno. And the more they like it, the more I can get away with playing more underground stuff in my sets. Because to me, that's the challenge. That's the fun part, to bring it together and have the people enjoy both things.
How much do you prepare a DJ set? So how much you improvise them in the stage? For example, how many tracks do you have in your USB when you play a main stage festival?
I have a collection of 60,000 tracks.
Okay.
And I have a selection usually for the stage of about 100.
Okay.
And then in that 100, like all those tracks are mashups. Like everything is custom edited. I don't play any originals anymore. I love editing.
Do you remember the names, or you use some particular symbols?
No, I know all the names.
You remember all the names?
Yes.
How is your typical day in this period?
Very busy. Working with my team to try and build labels, build artists, build things. Lots of building, not so much music. But now, since I have these shows this weekend, I really started working on music again, and it's a lot of fun.
How did you find balance in your mental health in these hard times? Because I think it's very difficult to superstar DJ to going through main stages to 1 year of nothing, you know.
It is very difficult, and I know a lot of friends of mine have great difficulty with it. But I always try to remember, like, I could always work at McDonald's. Actually, I tried to get work at McDonald's when I was younger and they didn't hire me. So I hope they'll hire me. But it's a choice. We do this as a choice. We are very lucky we get to do what we love for a living. And we can always get a regular day job or go study and get a normal job if it's too much, which is not necessarily a bad decision. You know, like I know for some people, all this flying everywhere and fans and the pressure of performing in front of tens of thousands of people and then being alone in your hotel room. I know it's difficult. And I made the choice to do this, like, because I love it more than I hate it. But I can understand for some other people, it might be different.
Can't wait to eat an hamburger again in some festivals around the world.
I cannot wait to have a drink again at some festivals and DJ, finally. I can't wait to see people react to music. You know, like it's the most depressing thing is doing a live stream without people.
Oh my God, yeah.
So much.
What about that?
It sucks. It's terrible. It's the worst thing you can imagine for a DJ. Because you like when we did Tomorrowland around the world,
Yeah.
like the only thing I kept thinking is, okay, these people are at home, give them the experience, put it there. And then of course the team of Tomorrowland was there too. So we sort of had some connection with some people. But like when I'm doing these streams, like for DJ Mag or Capuchon, where with the drones and stuff, bro, it's like I'm playing by myself. It's very, very sad. Like you're playing this music and you're like, I love it, oof. But no one's there to share the experience with you. So it makes you feel very lonely.
Thank you so much, Nick.
Thank you very much. Nice to meet you, Alessandro.
M2O DJ Station. DJ Station.